Yeah, what's good? So after watching hours of tape and analyzing this game, I couldn't figure Darius Garland out. This is because really we haven't seen him play a single collegiate game, and he's kind of fresh out of high school, so it's kind of made it hard to gauge him properly. I'll tell you what, I do think he made the right choice choosing Vanderbilt, staying in the SEC. Excuse me. This makes his tournament run very possible. Because let's just be honest, man. If you're not hitting the tournament, if you weren't the number one pick like Ben Simmons or something like that, and you missed the tournament, that's a lot of TV time you're missing, man. That's a lot of time for a motherfucker to come take your spot. This is dog eat dog. You don't want your spot getting bumped because there's always somebody hungry out there, ready to take it if you're not ready. So it wasn't really even a basketball clip. Surprisingly, that actually made me believe that he actually really could be a good point guard. It wasn't even a basketball clip. It was actually a video of him playing charades that let me know that he might be the real deal, which is crazy. Y'all probably wondering how the fuck did you get charades, as the answer to why he might be good. It's really because when I saw him playing, there are a lot of different things I'm going to touch on in a little bit. But based off of his high school stuff, he was a Tennessee 2017-2018 Tennessee Boys Basketball Player of the Year. As a senior, he averaged some pretty nasty stats: 27.6, 4.3, 5, 1.7. That's points per game, assists per game, rebounds, and steals. He has good passing vision, even though he has lower assist total at 4.3. And he's a scoring point guard at 27.6 points per game. He has very good court vision, but this can kind of be overlooked because the league is kind of looking forward to more score first point guards. And the reason you can get away with this now is because as long as these point guards have the passing ability, they don't really care how many assists they average coming out, because a lot of the offenses now that are actually doing very well, they're not ball centric around one player. It's all based around moving the ball and swinging it and getting it to the right person. So as long as they're willing passers and they're able to make the passes, they're not going to care how many assists they're averaging coming out. So that's why I'm not too concerned about his low assists per game during high school. In right now, and with his experience, I've seen it in a couple plays now. He does a lot of risky passes for assists. Some of them work out very well. Some of that shit looks magical, and then some of that shit, I'm very sure, probably gets picked off or stolen because he has a high turnover per game rate. And that usually stems when you have a really good player. That usually stems from them having a lot of eagerness to make a play. This usually happens when they're younger. But once he gets to the college level, well, he's already there. But I mean, once he plays some games and gets a feel for it, about halfway through the season and plus, get some experience in the pros as well. Yeah, he should be able to figure it out, and not make as many mistakes. He really should, because he should have been growing. But the reason I believe that Darius Garland could actually be pretty nasty, I mean, he's got everything that you want from a young player right now, just baseline with every team out there. He can shoot, he can pass, dribble extremely well, great court vision. Looks like he keeps himself in shape. I haven't seen any weight problems from him, and trust me, weight is a big problem. Okay, some people, they really can't control that shit. Just ask Big Baby. There are a lot of players who cannot control what goes in their mouth, and they end up out of the league or just not even where they're supposed to be because they can't control the substances they use and the food they eat. So it's good to see that he's not having trouble with that kind of stuff. But the thing that actually got me to believe that he might be a really good point guard moving forward, and that he actually might be able to live up to some potential, is the fact that when he was playing charades, he's playing versus it was him and Bol. That's my new Bol's son. Them some tall motherfuckers, man. My new Bol, them some tall motherfuckers. Right? Yo, Bol's gonna be unless he's done growing, he's gonna be a giant, man. He's already a giant, but shit, it's crazy. But Bol and Darius Garland were on the same team for charades, 2-on-2, and they were playing against Cam Reddish and Duke Blue Devil teammate Zion Williamson. And what I saw from him was, what I saw from the other team was the fact that these guys just looked so out of sync. Like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Motherfuckers like they ain't know shit, man. It was kind of embarrassing. But then you see this man, Darius Garland. This man was running through the cards, man. If he don't got it, swipe, you know, tosses it to the side, move on to the next one immediately, like split-second decision making. And that's when I saw that, I was like, okay, this man might be the real deal, because he had Bobo looking like Tyson Chandler after a Chris Paul assist. All right, he set the actions up so easy to get, you know what I'm saying, and they work very well together. And I thought this was very impressive. Why? Because this showed me split-second decision making, moving through them cards fast, all about winning. And it's just little shit like that, man. If you look at what they were doing throughout that game in the second round, I can't believe I'm talking about charades like this is real basketball analysis. In the second fucking round, them boys outscored Zion Williamson and Cam Reddish for the whole game, I believe. They had like 8 points. They scored in the second round, and Zion Williamson and Cam, they barely scored like 6 or 7 for the whole game. Like, come on, dude. Or they might have scored like 9. But there's Garland and Bobo whipped that ass. They spanked that ass and gave it to them boys. So that showed me a lot right there, because in basketball there are a lot of intangibles. Like the difference between J.R. Smith and Dwayne Wade in terms of physical abilities, very few. In fact, J.R. should be better. If you consider the fact that JR is 6'6" and they play the same position, JR's got bounce, you know, just like D Wade's got length. In fact, JR can shoot the three a little better. Why does he not have the legacy that Dwayne Wade has? It's all about what's upstairs, what's running upstairs in your brain. So I definitely do think that he might be able to become something great. Those are kind of intangibles that you need to be great at the next level. Excuse me. And split-second decision-making, man, that's huge. That's huge, because 1 split second later, that pass is out of bounds. That pass is knocked away. It's stolen. So definitely him being able to see the game before it happens, that's going to be key. You know, only time will tell, but the future looks bright for Mr. Darius Garland. So, hey, man, shout out to one of my subscribers, man. This dude, he's been giving me some ideas. Definitely, guys, feel free to give me ideas for the channel. My subscriber is Neil Ryan. I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly, but Neil Ryan, you know, he gave me the idea. So definitely leave me an idea below. I'm always gonna be covering my ideas, but I definitely want to throw some of yours in there as well. But all right.